All right, welcome to video 3 of lesson 12, module 6, of course. And we're continuing to look at this work that we were doing in number 2 in your Learn book. And I took point N and write down some possible ordered pairs. And remember, point N was the one that was here that made this into a right angle, MLN. And I was wondering why all of the x coordinates are 3. Why are all the x coordinates 3 of all the possible places that point N could be? I hope you're saying that it's because they all have to be on this line because this is the line 3, x3 that is perpendicular, forms a right angle with L and M. Yes? Okay, very good. Then think about where you put your point O. In point O, why are all the ordered pairs have an x-coordinate that are less than 3? Why are the x's all less than 3? Because they all have to be more than 90 degrees, right? So they all have to be either 2 or 1 or 1.5, 1.5, 2, less than 3, so that they could be and forming an obtuse angle. Does that make sense? Okay. And how about for P? Why are my x coordinates for P all more than 3? More than 3? X coordinates because they have to be 4, 5, or 6 because they have to be going this way, right? Here's our O's, 2 and 1. Sorry, I might have been pointing to the Y's. So let's look at the X, 2 and 1, and the P, 4, 5, and 6, right? Because we're going this way or we're going this way. All right, so thinking about those coordinates and how they all work together to form angles or quadrilaterals or remember what they're called? Line segments or rays, right? Okay. Now, your teacher has some mystery quadrilaterals for you to build. Your teacher will have some papers, so if your teacher's going to use that segment, you'll need to get those papers from your teacher, and then they can go over it with you now or later. And we're going to go back to our mystery quadrilateral that we started the lesson with. Remember that? Okay, so the vertex Z, it's hidden somewhere in here. Z is hidden by square D. If quadrilateral WXYZ is a rectangle, what would be true about Z? It would be parallel to XY, right? It would have a length the same as WX. Yes? Okay. And what would be true about the angle WZY? It would be a right angle. Yes? Okay, let's unveil. Are you ready for the great unveiling? Dun, dun, dun. And sorry, I drew it wrong to begin with, but it's really supposed to be here. Haha. What quadrilateral is quadrilateral WXYZ? It is a trapezoid. It has 2 vertical sides, at least one pair of parallel sides, right? These 2 are parallel to each other. Not a rectangle because it doesn't have 4 right angles. Z has a y coordinate slightly less, right, of W. I think it would be 15 15, 15, 15 on my grid. And that makes this angle an acute angle less than 90 degrees, and this one an obtuse angle more than 90 degrees. Not a right angle, so it is a trapezoid. All right, and let's look back at our trapezoid hierarchy. And, sorry, our quadrilateral hierarchy. A trapezoid has at least one pair of parallel sides and at least two pairs of supplementary angles. So you can see, right, one pair of parallel sides, top and bottom, and supplementary angles. If we go back to our picture, that means that these two angles will fit together to make 180 degrees. So acute and obtuse, and they would actually fit together. That's what supplementary means. All right, thanks for your hard work. I really appreciate you. This is the end of lesson 12. Have a great day. Aloha.